I will start. All right. So let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Oh, no, just added a new slide. Yeah. Hold on. Okay.
There we
I
go.
should be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right from start. There we go. All righty. Uh, Hello, Professor Baptiste. This is our professional sports team analysis. I'm Tristan.
I'm Mason.
Caesar.
Yeah.
All right. Did the Milwaukee Brewers. So, oh no. Oh, frick, dude. I was trying to minimize the
Oh, the
Okay, there we go. I
the
got it. Yeah. All right, so foundation origins of the team. They were originally founded in 1969 as an expansion team in the American League, and they were called the Seattle Pilots. They had a really bad first season financially, and they did not play well. So they were moved to Milwaukee in 1970 to what used to be the Brave Stadium, and they took on the name of the minor league team there, the Brewers. And Alan Bud Selig was the man who bought the Seattle Pilots and moved them to Milwaukee in 1969. Oh, yeah. Early years, they had a few star players, including Robin Yount and Paul Molitor, who's pictured. Robin Yount heralded the beginning of a slow turnaround for the Brewers, which was propelled in 1978 when designated hitter Paul Molitor joined the team. They ran off three consecutive winning seasons before claiming their first division title in 1981. They won an American League pennant in 1982, advancing to the World Series for what would be the only time in the club's history um, in the World Series, but they lost to the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 7, unfortunately. Ownership and management. So Bud Selig, this is the man who bought the Seattle Pilots and moved them to Milwaukee. Um, He owned the club for 35 years and he sold them in 2005 for $223 million to Mark Attanasio. He's the principal owner of the Brewers and he is a huge banker in Wisconsin. So he just buys a bunch of crap. Um, championships and achievements. The Brewers have never won a World Series, along with only four other MLB teams. The best season the Brewers had was in 2011 when they went 96-66, but lost in the National League Championship in Game 6 to the Cardinals again, unfortunately. Ryan Braun, um, he's the he was the Northern League MVP in 2011 with a batting average of 597. He hit 33 home runs, had 111 RBIs, 109 runs scored, and 33 bases stolen. He's actually the man who I watched most as a kid. Um, Major rivalries. So, from what I understand, the Chicago Cubs are the oldest rival that the Brewers have had, but the argument seems to be more on the fan side than the players. The rivalry started because the two teams are close geographically, like most rivalries do. It's known as the I-94 rivalry because that's the interstate that people take to get to both stadiums. And fans from each team will take a train to the opposing stadium to haggle the other team's players and fans. So the Brewers have two notable initiatives that are heavily involved with community outreach and engagement. Play Ball Initiative encourages young people to play baseball and softball to help kids get active and make new friends. And another initiative they have is called Beyond the Diamond, in which players, coaches, players' wives, and front office staff help the community with four areas of outreach: health, education, recreation, and basic needs. This takes place from May to August every year, so really just in the regular season. Player legacy. So Robin Yount, as mentioned before, he played for the Brewers from 1974 to 1993 and holds almost every offensive record other than home runs, and they retired his number 19 in 1999. Ryan Braun started in his first game in 2007 and was a star player for 6 years, getting the Brewers very close to the World Series in 2011. The Brewers have yet to play in a game outside of the US or Canada. International fans are always a part of sports. The Brewers have Willie Adams, Luis Urias, and Omar Narvaez from the Caribbean, South America, and Mexico, respectively. The Brewers work closely with organizations that have heavy ties to Latino communities throughout the Milwaukee area. An adoption to changes. So the Brewers have a new license plate recognition parking system that allows fans to prepay for parking spots and scan a QR code when parked for a better game day experience. And they selected ANC to enhance their digital signage, operations, and advertising at American Family Field. ANC installed an 8 mm LED digital display boards in center and right field. Those are the ones pictured, and 4 mm LED home plate and baseline displays, and a new broadcast control room. They were working on that. That one's not finished yet. And contributions beyond sports. So some philanthropic endeavors that they have are fundraising for nonprofit groups, the Play Ball Initiative, Brewers Alumni Association, Brewers Families, RBI Athlete of the Month program, and youth baseball clinics.
All right. Uh, so I'm going to talk about the Milwaukee Brewers Stadium. It's called American Family Field. Oh, sorry. Yeah. All right. So construction and inception. American Family Field, home of the Brewers, opened in 2001, replacing their previous stadium named Milwaukee County, which closed in 2000. The main motivation behind American Family Field was to not only give the team but the fans to be excited about the team because it's a small market team, smallest market in the MLB. So the motivation behind the stadium was like creating something unique that the fans will remember. MLB will remember. So that's why they created American Family Field. One of the main things that makes American Family Field stand apart is that it's the only stadium with a fan-shaped retractable roof. So no matter whether if it's raining, you won't have a rain delay. You can just close the roof. And then if it's nice and cool outside, you can have it open for a nice day game or a night game, which is pretty cool. Also gives benefits to grow natural grass and be protected from the elements, like I just said. They also have a slide in the outfield. It's kind of hard, but you can see it. So the mascot will ride down the Brewers slide whenever they hit a home run. It's the only baseball that has a slide in the outfield, which is pretty cool. So yeah. And then location and accessibility. I can't say that. American Family Field is located minutes away from downtown Milwaukee. Easily accessible to I-94, which is the main interstate for Wisconsin. You can see it's kind of picture. You can see it a little bit in the picture to the left. But it makes it easy to navigate for people traveling by car throughout Wisconsin because it's right next to the interstate. It's also cool because if you're local to the ballpark, you can also ride your bike or walk because there's a state trail that provides a connection from Family Field all the way to Lake Michigan. So if you want to hike or take a walk, if it's nice outside, you want to walk and you live close. So that's pretty cool. And makes easier for all fans from different parts of Wisconsin to get to American Family Field, especially if you're living in Green Bay or Madison, Wisconsin. So it's easily accessible for all fans, which is cool. And then the capacity and seating. American Family Field can fit up to 42,000 fans. You can see the seating chart to the right. It's in the top half of top 15 for all MLB stadiums in terms of capacity. They have multiple all-inclusive clubs that we'll talk about a little bit later, and then they have premium seats that include all-you-can-eat food and drinks. Some examples are the Northwestern Mutual Legends Club and the PNC Club, and the Brewers label each section by hundreds, so you can kind of see it a little bit, but it ranges from 100 in the lower to the premium to 442, which is the upper level seating. So. And then technological advancements. Tristan touched on it a little bit earlier, but they added a pair of 8 LED scoreboards in both center and right field. Both measure up to 12,000 feet, making it one of the largest scoreboards in the league. Also added electronic signage behind home plate, which is easier for sponsors and advertising upcoming events. Like Tristan said, they partner with ANC, which is a technological and advertising company that works with professional sports teams. Worked with other MLB teams like the Dodgers and the Nationals. These enhancements will improve the fan experience because scoreboards will make the viewing experience easier for fans and are able to have more contests and fan interactions with the larger scoreboard, so it's easier for fans. So yeah. And then sustainability and green initiatives. American Family Field replaced their traditional light fixtures with LED light bulbs, so it helped reduce energy usage by up to 30%. Also, have hosted multiple programs for students in surrounding schools in the area to share the importance of recycling and sustainability. American Family Field is also LEED certified, which is leadership and energy and environmental design. Means that the ballpark was acknowledged for its simple sustainability for architecture, which is pretty cool. So, then historical significance. The first significant event to happen, American Family Field, was the first pitch in the first game at American Family Field, thrown out by President George W. Bush and Brewers founder Bud Selig. And then in 2008, the Milwaukee Brewers were on the verge of ending a 26-year drought and making the postseason. And then it came down to the final day in the season. Brewers had to win their game, and they also needed the Mets to lose. And then the Brewers won, and so they put the ending of the New York Mets game on the big jumbotron. And when the Mets lost, the Brewers made the postseason for the first time in 26 years. Everyone went crazy. So it was a really cool event to happen at American Family Field. It was a great moment because the Milwaukee. Oh, sorry. Adaptability and multi-use. American Family Field offers a wide variety of facilities that the stadium can use when they're not playing in the season. They can host concerts in a seating bowl near home plate and have had many artists like Billy Joel, Smashing Pumpkins, and Sting. They also have a conference room that local businesses can rent for seminars, can seat up to 150 people. They have an X Golf simulator, which is an area that has 7 full simulators with 2 bars, so that parties can rent out during both the season and the off season, bring in additional revenue. And when the Brewers originally built their stadium, they thought hard about the adaptability because in this way they want to increase the revenue when the Brewers are not in season, so bring in additional revenue. And then fan experience and comfort. The Brewers and American Family Field added pavilions for fans to tailgate before games because tailgating is big in Wisconsin with the Green Bay Packers especially. So they wanted to bring that tailgating experience to baseball. They offer a wide variety of food and drink options for fans inside the ballpark. Like there's a bar that has just local craft beers from the state of Wisconsin. So it's a great way to both support small business and get fans interacting with these businesses. And multiple playgrounds throughout the ballpark for older kids and toddlers. And there's also part of the ballpark called the Selig Experience, which talks about the overall history of the Brewers and the life of Bob Selig and how it was founded. So. And then security and safety measures. The Brewers have multiple safety measures posted on the Brewers website, so it can show you a list of prohibited items that are allowed in the ballpark when you want to check before going. They also have security screenings at every entrance. Go through a metal detector. A lot of stadiums have this, so prevent you from bringing in hazardous items. Also have a unique way of communicating with their fans if there is an emergency and there's not a staff member close to them. You can text the word crew and your seat number to a number that they'll post on their website. So if you can't find a crew member, they can send that and then they'll help you. So which I thought was a great innovative idea. And then facilities and amenities. Brewers have over 40 concession stands, so fans will have a wide variety to choose from. They have a barrel yard, which is, I believe, pictured to the left, and it's a brewery inside American Family Field that I kind of talked about that only sells local beers. They have 33 men's and women's restrooms throughout the ballpark. And like I talked about, they have multiple all-inclusive areas. Some more include the Johnsonville Party Deck, the Brew Room, Toyota Territory, and the Vizzy Loft. And all these areas have unlimited food and drinks as well as premium seating.
All right, I'm gonna be going over the Brewers sponsorships that they have. All right, so the main sponsorships and partnerships that the Brewers have include Coca-Cola, which is the exclusive soft drink and partner, Miller Lite, the official beer partner of the Brewers, Northwestern Mutual, which is the official financial planning partner and jersey patch sponsor. Chick-fil-A, Brewers Community Foundation Leadership Council, which include corporate partners such as American Family Insurance, Aurora Healthcare, etc., that support the Brewers Community Foundation, and American Family Insurance, a corporate partner and member of the Brewers Community Foundation Leadership Council. The Brewers also teams up with various corporate partners who are committed to support numerous nonprofit organizations. So, so the durations that the Brewers and their sponsors have in contracts, it will vary on the type of sponsorships they have, but they will usually be multi-year sponsorships with the Brewers. For example, the Brewers have a naming rights deal with the American Family Insurance that runs until 2035. So for the next 10 years. So the financial impact, as of right now, the Brewers have 96 sponsorship deals. It is estimated that the team sponsorships and partnerships combined close to 1.6 billion US dollars. With this type of value, the Brewers is always seeking hundreds of millions of stadium renovations and lobbying to secure public funding from other sponsors. The Brewers have also recently made a couple of player acquisitions and roster transactions, such as signing an 8-year, 82 million contract with Jackson Chourio. So some player endorsements. As of recent, no player on the Milwaukee Brewers holds an endorsement deal with any brand. However, the only player to hold an endorsement deal was Ryan Braun, which Tristan mentioned that he loved watching, who played left field for the Brewers from 2007 and up to 2020. Unfortunately, well, actually, no, not yet. In 2014, Braun, who was the National League MVP in 2011, was endorsed by 392, a baseball and softball footwear and apparel company in which he wore cleats and apparel exclusively from the company for a season. Unfortunately, because of Braun's previous suspension from the league for violating the MLB's anti-drug agreement, and 32 or 3 and 2 being a small independent company at the time, this endorsement did not do too much exposure for the team's overall brand. Alignment with the brand values. The Milwaukee Brewers are only dedicated to work with sponsors who share certain values and missions, as the team claims to be a family of faithful followers drawn together from all walks of life, connected by a common passion. The Brewers and its sponsors rely on the values of passion, accountability, teamwork, and stewardship as they continue to hold strong relationships. The Brewers also hold the mission of taking pride in the organization and communities, which is a general mission for most of its sponsors. And there has not been any conflicts with the team's image and value with its sponsors at the moment. So, marketing, activation, and fan engagement. For the most part, the Brewers sponsors activate their partnerships during games and events by holding charitable events, deals, and free prizes for the fans during games. For example, the first 150 fans to make a $20 donation to the Alex's Lemonade stand in the Brewers Stadium will receive an exclusive photo card of either a Brewers alumni or other notable Wisconsin athlete. Uh, Another example is fans can claim a free Chick-fil-A sandwich if the Brewers score in the fourth inning. It has been stated that this promotion has been a fan favorite for the Brewers fans, as Chick-fil-A has included other giveaways for its fans, such as free playoff tickets and free beer at the Drunk Uncle, which is a local restaurant in Wisconsin. Jersey sponsors and logos. The only sponsor and company logo that the Brewers have featured on their uniform is from Northwestern Mutual, which I mentioned before is a financial service company based in Milwaukee. The logo was added around the 2023 season and is featured on the Brewers sleeves in the team's navy blue and white colors. Unfortunately, the Brewers president of business operations, Rick Schlesinger, stated that the patch on the uniform is not as prominent as it is compared to English football, or where the sponsor's name is more important than the team itself. So global reach and exposure. The Brewers have some sponsors that are international, giving them an edge on the global reach and exposure. The sponsors that are international include Strauss, which is a German clothing company specialized in workwear, protective gear, and safety footwear, and has a multi-year partnership with the Brewers. And Toyota, which everybody knows is a Japanese car company that provides certain sweepstakes to the Brewers fans and have an opportunity to win a Toyota vehicle. So some changes and terminations from sponsorships. After Ryan Braun's PED suspension in 2013, a handful of sponsors ended their relationship with Braun and the Brewers, which include big names such as Nike, Wilson, and Muscle Milk. New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who then played for the Green Bay Packers at the time, was a co-partner with Braun of a restaurant based in Milwaukee, and he ultimately ended his relationship with Ryan and the restaurant, as Rodgers claimed that Braun lied to him about his PED use.
So we're going to talk about the broadcast deals that the Brewers have. Local broadcast deals. So during the 2022 to 24 seasons, Bally Sports has been producing the Brewers games locally and through their app for anyone worldwide to watch. There's a monthly subscription, which is $20, or there's a yearly subscription, which is $100. In early October of this year, the Milwaukee Brewers announced that they will be ending their relationship with Bally, and the MLB will be taking over the production of their games. So the most recent numbers show the average views on Bally per game being 35 to 40,000, and that's pretty much equal to what they get in person at home games. The viewership for a mid-tier team like the Brewers doesn't change too much because they aren't getting wild card games or making it to the National League Championship or anything crazy. That being said, games against rivals like the Cubs and the Cardinals are going to be the most watched games. So broadcasting revenue, the worth of the Brewers' Bally contract in the 2024 season was estimated to be $33 million. And money earned from the broadcasting deal allows the Brewers to put money into everything else, including player contracts, merchandise, and initiatives that involve giving back to the community. Contract renewals. So Bally was contracted locally and nationally for the Brewers, and their contract was renewed twice in the 2023 and 2024 season. Factors that go into deciding if a team should renew a broadcast deal or not include if anyone else is available, so MLB, the price, and the video quality for viewers. Broadcast enhancements. So in the upcoming year, the Brewers are expected to part ways with Bally again, have MLB take over their broadcast production, and will gain several advantages over Bally Sports. So the elimination of blackouts, which were a major concern with the direct-to-consumer streaming option, better integration with MLB's offerings, such as being able to watch games directly from MLB.tv, Game Day, or the at-bat app, making viewing games easier.
All right, fan engagement and broadcasting. So with MLB taking over Brewers broadcasting from Bally Sports, MLB plans on implementing new technology into its broadcasting, allowing its fans to view features normally reserved for national broadcasting, like on-field cameras and mics, in-game interviews, and a wide variety of camera angles, allowing fans to get a true sense of the game. International broadcast. Although the Brewers broadcasts are generally aired in the US and in Canada, there are some streaming platforms that offer international availability to watch Brewers games. With collaborating with MLB.tv, viewing Brewers games will be available in most countries around the world, offering live streams of all MLB games. With international TV networks, some countries will have the opportunity to view Brewers and other MLB games through local broadcasters or networks with MLB broadcasting deals. For example, in Japan, games are available through Nippon TV and other local broadcasters since the MLB has a huge following in Japan. Not much info has been published with Milwaukee Brewers fans as of or international Milwaukee Brewers fans as of recent, but it is increasing. It's increasing its broadcast internationally, thus giving the Brewers can hope to increase its fans overseas.
So, digital broadcasting and streaming, like we've touched around earlier, the only form of digital broadcasting or streaming is through the MLB Network app. You can see games from all different teams for $5.99 a month. You can watch on your smart devices. Many different leagues use this form of streaming. Like I know the NBA has a package called NBA League Pass that gives you access to watch any games on any given night on your device. Can have a positive influence on the Brewers fans because some might not have the games in the area because some might be watching from out of the Wisconsin area. So they'll always have access to watch the games through the network app. Make sure they're always connected with their team as well as when they're traveling on the go, they can just watch on their smart device, which is cool. And then national broadcast deals. Milwaukee Brewers do not have a contract nationally for broadcasting games. However, MLB is partnered with Fox and ESPN, and they'll have certain games highlighted on their, like the World Series or certain highlight games. Instead, the Brewers will launch a new service to watch Brewers games called Brewers TV, which will also give fans access to watch games through the TV cable provider. Difference between local and national broadcasts is the reach of fans. Brewers don't have a lot of nationally televised games, and so they don't play on ESPN as much as teams like the Dodgers or the Yankees do because they're not as popular. And then cross promotion and content sharing. Brewers have multiple forms of additional content outside their traditional game broadcast. One of the main forms of content I found is a podcast called Brewers Unfiltered. It's the logo on the left. Have three hosts that run the podcast that are journalists, have covered the Brewers for multiple years. Talk about games, top stories, trades, anything that's going on associated with the Brewers. And it benefits the team and broadcasters because it can give fans different perspective and insight and look at their team more in depth. So,
Right, and there's our sources, and that is it.